I'm so confused. This is not the story that I heard from my niece. I know that Yandy was not the one that was DMing her. Yandy's husband was. She's clearly lying to my face, and I'm not calling her out about it because I don't feel that I should.
On August 19th, Tamar Braxton took to Instagram with a chilling revelation that had fans and followers instantly concerned. She had recently experienced what she described as a terrifying, near-death situation. According to Tamar, she was found in a vulnerable state, bruised, blooded, and barely conscious. The details she shared were vague, but the emotional weight was crystal clear. It shook her to the core, and the internet responded in kind. But what started as a personal health crisis quickly escalated into one of the year's most talked-about celebrity scandals, once fans began connecting dots, rumors, and timelines that painted a very different picture. The internet, as it always does, turned the story into a living, breathing investigation, complete with screenshots, video footage, and amateur detective work. It all allegedly began with a night out in Atlanta, at the well-known B12 Lounge, where Tamar was spotted enjoying herself in the company of Mendeecees Harris, known for his role on Love and Hip Hop, DC, and as the husband, or rumored soon-to-be ex, of reality TV staple Yandy Smith. According to multiple people present, Tamar and Mendeecees weren't just casually networking. They were reportedly very close the entire evening, whispering, laughing, leaning into one another like the rest of the club had disappeared. Some described it as flirtatious, others said it looked like the two were having a private moment in a very public place. And in Atlanta, where nightlife and celebrity culture collide, it's rare for something like that to go unnoticed. By 1 a.m., several partygoers claimed they saw Tamar and Mendeecees leave the venue, not in separate directions, but together, at least in timing and presence. Reports then suggest that while Tamar left with longtime friend Funky Dineva, Mendeecees was seen trailing their car in his own vehicle, which quickly raised eyebrows online. This wasn't the kind of coincidence that slips under the radar in a city full of bloggers and influencers, especially not when those involved are high-profile names tied to ongoing TV storylines and real-life drama. Once at Tamar's place, sources claim a small after-party unfolded with a few close friends present, including Mendeecees. From that point, the timeline becomes cloudy. Tamar's next public appearance came not through a paparazzi shot or a casual selfie, but through her emotional Instagram post describing a frightening accident that left her seriously injured. While Tamar herself referred to it as a tragic accident, fans on social media immediately began speculating that there was more to the story. Especially when factoring in the presence of Mendeecees, the rumors of tension in his marriage with Yandy, and the long-standing reputation of public conflict that follows many Love and Hip Hop cast members. Within hours, comments exploded across Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, with some fans suggesting Tamar may have become unintentionally involved in something deeper than a night out. Some framed it as a misunderstanding, others leaned into conspiracy, suggesting that Tamar's injuries and the incident may have stemmed from a tangled web of jealousy, secrets, and emotional payback. However, there has been no confirmation of any wrongdoing, confrontation, or criminal activity by anyone involved, and it's important to remember that speculation is not fact. That said, when social media takes the reins, narratives often write themselves. Yandy Smith, known for standing by her husband through numerous storms, legal issues, infidelity rumors, and public scrutiny, was suddenly thrust into the online spotlight. Clips from past seasons of Love and Hip Hop resurfaced, showing Yandy defending Mendeecees from gossip, taking public blame for messages sent from his account, and even being called out by castmates who accused her of covering for him. That history only fueled public intrigue, leading fans to wonder what kind of strain Tamar and Mendeecees' alleged closeness might have placed on Yandy's marriage, and whether it spilled over into real-life consequences. As for Tamar, things became even murkier when a music video trailer featuring Mendeecees was abruptly released online, sooner than anticipated. Many fans saw this as a calculated move, a form of damage control to redirect the narrative and center the focus back on Tamar's artistry rather than the swirling gossip. Still, it didn't stop the speculation. One viral comment summarized what many were thinking, that Tamar may have developed a personal connection with Mendeecees, cast him in a visual project, and then rushed the release to steer public focus away from the club sightings and rumors. Others pointed out how fast-paced and chaotic Atlanta's entertainment scene can be, where celebrity drama unfolds like live-action soap operas, blurring the line between on-camera plot twists and off-camera reality. Despite all the noise, Tamar has stayed relatively quiet aside from her initial post, letting fans draw their own conclusions. And while no official statements have been made by Yandy or Mendeecees addressing the speculation, that silence has only added more fuel to the fire. Tamar's injuries remain unexplained in any official sense beyond her mention of an accident, and with no confirmed cause, fans are left with two versions of events. One that follows Tamar's own account, and another crafted by the internet, full of side-eyes, timelines, and what ifs. Either way, this situation has cemented itself as one of the most intense celebrity moments of the year, not just for its shocking visuals and emotional weight, but for how quickly it evolved from a personal scare into a multi-layered saga involving reality TV stars, music rollouts, unconfirmed relationships, and the dark side of fame in the digital age. Whether it all boils down to an unfortunate coincidence, a misunderstood series of events, or something more complex that has yet to be revealed, only time, and perhaps the people involved, will tell. Until then, the public continues to watch, refresh, and speculate, proving once again that in the age of social media, real lives often get treated like storylines, and privacy is almost always the first casualty. Don't let the grey eyes fool you. When it comes to her marriage, Yandy Smith has always made it crystal clear that she's ready to defend it at all costs. And fans saw that fierce loyalty on full display recently when whispers hit the internet that Tamar Braxton had allegedly been spotted in a cozy moment with Yandy's husband, Mendeecees Harris. While no one has confirmed anything beyond a night out, the timing couldn't have been worse, or more suspicious. Just days before the rumors started, Mendeecees had been pouring his heart out publicly in a birthday tribute to Yandy, celebrating 20 years of knowing her and 10 years of marriage. He praised her as his foundation, his rock, and his inspiration, both in private and in public. A now viral clip from Yandy's birthday dinner showed him toasting her with heartfelt words about her strength, beauty, and the life they built together, followed by a kiss that had their guests cheering. It painted a picture of a solid, unbreakable union. So for fans, the idea of Tamar being seen allegedly close to Mendeecees in a club, then later hosting a small gathering where he was also reportedly present, felt like a major plot twist. Social media detectives quickly went to work, dissecting body language, timestamps, and everything in between. What really fueled the fire was the timing of Tamar's frightening health scare, which she later described as a near-death experience. Though she called it a tragic accident, the internet speculated otherwise, especially with rumors flying that the police were called and sirens were heard in her neighborhood that same night. Fans began connecting the dots, with some believing the incident might not have been as random as it seemed. Though there's absolutely no confirmed evidence pointing fingers, the idea that someone might have taken things personally started gaining traction, especially with Yandy's reputation for being protective of her marriage. Then came Funky Dineva, a longtime friend of Tamar's, who unexpectedly found himself caught in the middle. Initially supportive, Funky flipped the narrative, taking to Instagram and venting his frustration, saying he felt like collateral damage in what he believed was a PR stunt. He was upset that his image was being used to support a narrative that he had no part in and called out Tamar for not clearing his name. He claimed she ghosted him when he tried to ask about what really happened that night, saying she'd text him about other things but dodged the truth. His energy wasn't that of a concerned friend, it was someone who felt misled and disappointed. Tamar, trying to shut down the chaos, eventually responded on Instagram, tagging Funky directly and making it clear she still had love for him, but that she had been focused on healing and peace. She insisted the accident was real and not part of any clout-chasing stunt, shutting down rumors that the music video featuring Mendeecees, released earlier than expected, was part of a distraction plan. In fact, she clarified that the pain she endured wasn't about any man, but about heartbreak and surviving a nightmare. Funky later reposted her story, softened his stance, and said that was all he needed, a little clarity and acknowledgement. But even with their peace somewhat restored, the bigger narrative refused to die down. Fans kept pointing to the tight timeline, the emotional intensity, and the idea that Yandy, known for standing tall against any perceived threats to her marriage, might have caught wind of the club sighting before Tamar even made it home. Again, nothing has been confirmed, and it's all speculation, but the streets were talking. Tamar may be focused on healing and moving forward, but the conversation about what really happened that night, and who knew what, hasn't gone quiet. It's the kind of story that blurs the line between real life and reality TV, and people are watching it unfold like a live episode of Love and Hip Hop. There's Tamar, trying to heal and promote her music. Yandy, silent but still very much the centerpiece of speculation. Mendeecees, quiet but clearly caught in the middle. And Funky, voicing the frustrations of someone who got pulled into something he never signed up for. And even though apologies have been shared and statements made, the whispers still linger. This isn't just another reality show feud, It's a messy, emotionally charged situation that reflects how deeply intertwined personal lives, public personas, and fan-fueled narratives have become. It's also a reminder that for celebrities, the cameras might stop rolling, but the consequences of these headlines last far beyond the trending moment. Everyone involved may be trying to move on, but the fans? They are still glued to their phones, still watching, still asking, what really happened that night?